Well, the sun has set and all eyes are now on South Trinidad for the semi-final of the 2018 CPL. We're down to the penultimate game of the tournament and TKR has taken the longer route to the final. Can Dwayne Bravo's men cross this last hurdle to get to the final on Sunday? Welcome to Matchday Live on a Friday night. I'm Ryan Bechu. We're less than half an hour away from crossing over to South Trinidad for the semi-final. Our team is at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy to bring us the latest news from on the ground. So who will it be? The only definite is whoever it is. They will face the Guyana Amazon Warriors on Sunday afternoon. Now, TKR had a full training session yesterday in the build-up to this match this evening. We heard from Colin Board right after he talked to our South cameraman.
I think for us, certainly we've got to play our game. Yes, we're going to have some of the coaches and the technical staff will sit and go through how we feel is the best approach as we do every game. But certainly of greater importance is that we play as a team and that we play all three facets of the game well. Batting, bowling and fielding. We've got to play smart cricket. It's about adjustments. Every time you play on a new surface, on a new ground, you've got to adjust and adjust quickly. And I think the team that will hold its nerve tomorrow and the team that will make the least mistakes would come out victorious.
So, whichever team is victorious, they'll face the Guyana Amazon Warriors. The all-rounder Rayad Emrit was on the morning shot today. He told us TKR would be an extremely tricky final, but come who may, the Warriors are ready to rumble. Listen in.
For the entire tournament, we are second favourites. If you look at the matchup and all the teams, we probably were the less star-studded team in the tournament. You know, playing at home is always an advantage for us. You know, the crowd is second to none back home. So I think we have the crowd support anywhere we go. You know, in Trinidad it will be different, but you know, I think we feed off the crowd support.
Well, we got him up early on a Friday morning to come on the morning shot. This is Matchday Live on CNC3. We're building up to TKR versus the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, and we're live in just about 25 minutes.
We also want to make sure that we play the best cricket we can, and good luck to the best team tomorrow.
They've won by 2 wickets and snatched victory from the jaws of defeat.
You know, playing TKR at home is always tough. You know, I guess St. Kitts would be who we like to play.
And the Patriots are going to the semi-final of Hero CPL 2018.
From 4 teams, we're down to the final 3. It's TKR versus the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots tonight in semi-final number 1 and only. I've got former England cricketer Mark Butcher with me to analyse and help assess where we've gotten to in this tournament and look ahead to the 2 teams that could potentially, well, one could potentially be facing the Amazon Warriors in Sunday night's final. Mark, thank you very much. I watched you for a number of years play with and under Michael Vaughan, and I must say that I enjoyed your company watching you on TV, and I'm enjoying your company now. Welcome to Matchday Live. How have you enjoyed this CPL as an Englishman?
Well, it's my 3rd time here on the commentary team, 3rd year on the trot, and I just think it's getting better and better. You know, the crowds in particular in Trinidad here and in Guyana are always superb, but they've been better in places like Barbados and Jamaica, although they only had a couple of home games there this year. And so all the while that, you know, the interest and the you know, the fervour of the fans keeps bringing sort of bigger and better performances out of the players. And you know, it's a sort of 3, 4, 5 weeks that everybody really looks forward to in the cricketing calendar now, and it's firmly on the map.
TKR versus the Patriots. 1 spot left in the final. Who are you backing and why do you think they're going to get to the final to face the Amazon Warriors?
Well, I mean, I think, you know, the Night Riders have kind of been favourites from the very start. And, you know, given that their squad, they're defending champions, the squad is one that, with a couple of notable additions, is one that is kind of very familiar with each other, you know, been together for a while. You would have to say that they're still favourites, and plus, of course, they're playing here in Trinidad so that home advantage helps. However, they run into a little bit of a sticky patch at the wrong time. I think when they changed the team up to the extent that they did in their final group match, allowing the Amazon Warriors to get the jump on them there and then beat them in the first qualifier.
Have they peaked too early? That's a crucial question.
Yeah, I mean it's an obvious question, isn't it? That you kind of you sail through the group and you get there so quickly that you start to sort of overcomplicate things maybe thinking about bringing in other players to give them a bit of game time instead of just sticking with the 11 that's or the 11 or 12 players that have been winning you the matches. So it's an interesting theory. But on the other side of things, the Patriots have gone the other way, haven't they? They kind of were iffy. Their form was a little bit up and down in the early parts of the group stages. They've just won 3 on the bounce and have done it in quite some style as well. And I think they're growing in confidence. I still think that TK are going to take some beating at home. I mean, if the toss turns out to be very crucial, in terms of due and run chasing, etc., then I give the Patriots a real chance if they can get the right end of the toss. But TK are one of the few sides, I think, in the tournament who stand a very good chance of winning no matter which side of the toss they come out on. We saw them do it here in the last couple of group games where they lost the toss on every occasion, ended up having to bat first, set a total, but still came out and were able to defend it even when the ball was soaking wet and everything was against them. So they're very, very strong. They are at home, which I think makes them favourites, but do not ride off the Patriots.
That win against, not win, because, I mean, it seemed like we were on course for victory, but that match against the Amazon Warriors and the way the team went about defending 122 runs, that must be a confidence booster in the bowling department that they can take into the Brian Lara Cricket Academy.
Yeah, I mean, it was some finish, wasn't it? I think the only thing that let them down slightly in that game was tactics. They have a guy in Colin Ingram who is a very, very good leg spinner. He's not a part-timer. In T20 cricket, he's very, very handy, takes a lot of wickets for Glamorgan and doesn't let you down. And I was sort of crying out on commentary for them to give him a few overs in order so that they could save Narayan and Fawad for a couple of overs in the last 5, when the game's really on. That didn't happen. The decision, DJ Bravo took the decision to sort of get his spinners out the way. He didn't give Ingram a bowl. Perhaps he doesn't know, perhaps he doesn't have that trust in him yet because he doesn't know him very well. And therefore, that left the last 6 overs without any overs of spin. The youngsters in Rutherford and Hetmeyer basically waited for that time to happen and then attacked the seamers, and they were sort of helpless really when it was dewy as much as it was.
So you've been around the CPL for a while. You might have heard the cries of TKR fans when it comes to Dwayne Bravo bowling at the death overs. Is that something that you agree with, DJ Bravo bowling himself at the death, and especially in a situation like we got ourselves in against the Amazon Warriors?
I have no issue with him bowling at the death. It's what he does. It's his speciality.
But does he do it successfully? And how often does he do it successfully?
Well, being that it's an extremely difficult thing to be successful at 100% of the time, I'd say if you looked over the course of Dwayne Bravo's career as a whole, he probably has a record which is around about 50-50. Now, I'm guessing here. And I think that if you win as often as you lose bowling at the death, then you're pretty good at it. You see the way that guys hit the ball nowadays. Closing out matches, bowling the final 2 overs of an innings is very, very difficult. And I still think, as captain of the team, senior player, with all that experience, that of course he's going to take on that responsibility himself. Why wouldn't he? The fact of the matter was that he kind of didn't have that many to defend in the first qualifier because the batting had been so good and so positive, and they were only defending 120. So.
Okay, so we're hoping that the TKR team makes a lot more runs down at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. How much do you know about the BLC, and what do you think we can expect down there?
Well, it's the first time I've been there. Obviously, when I played here 2 or 3 times, I think maybe twice in Test matches, in 2004 and 1997. Both at the Queen's Park Oval, so it'll be the first time I've ever been at the Brian Lara Stadium, so I'm really looking forward to it. By all accounts, I hear the pitch is pretty good, and that the crowds will flock in as they do at the Queen's Park Oval, so yeah, looking forward to it.
What tactics do you think both teams are talking about in their respective dressing rooms ahead of what is just really one more match for one team?
Yep, it's a knockout game, isn't it? Look, I mean, the toss is crucial, isn't it? I mean, there's absolutely no doubt about it. When you start these matches at 8 o'clock in the evening, the pitches that the dew starts to fall down around about then, but doesn't have that much of an effect in the first half of the game, but has a massive effect in the second half of the game. And so, of course, both teams are going to want to chase runs. There's no doubt about that. However, as I said before, TKR have managed to post big enough scores to put teams under real pressure when chasing, even when the dew is bad. So, listen, for TKR, I think the key for their game, really and truly, is to make sure that they get good partnerships at the top of the order, build a platform, and then obliterate teams at the back end with the bat. If they do that, then they have enough bowling resources, enough variety in their bowling attack to be able to win the game, whether they bowl first or bowl second. So that's what TKR will be thinking. Patriots will just be thinking, look, we just need to be really, really positive here. I think that's the key for them. You know, they're probably unfancied. They'll probably come in as second favourites in a two-horse race. But if they go out and play sort of fearlessly as they did yesterday, then there's absolutely no reason whatsoever why they couldn't cause a massive upset and end up in the final with the Amazon Warriors.
Play. This is how we play. This is how we play.
Welcome back to Matchday Live. On a Friday night, we're building up to TKR versus the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots for this first and only semi-final. Really, the winner heads to the Brian Lara Cricket Academy once again to face the Amazon Warriors on Sunday night. It's really where everybody wants to be, the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Jassi Marique is fortunate to actually be down there. Let's touch base with Jassi. I know the toss has taken place. Jas, what can you tell us ahead of this crucial game?
At the Brian Lara Cricket Academy for this, the semi-final of CPL 2018. It's the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots will be taking on the Trinbago Knight Riders. It's a virtual rematch of last year's final. And if you don't know, you should know by now at least, that the Patriots actually won the toss and they will be bowling first here at this magnificent facility. I can tell you the atmosphere is not quite like the Queen's Park Oval. However, that's understandable. It's a quite open venue, as you can see. The blessing and the curse in this instance is the fact that you can see everything. For instance, those empty seats all the way over there across in the southwestern stand. I can tell you, though, that the crowd is building slowly but surely. We should have known that this would have been the case, however, as once we passed Shoguanas on our way down, of course, the traffic subsided. The usual afternoon traffic, of course, were from Port of Spain all the way to Shoguanas. But once we passed Shoguanas, it subsided, which gave us an indication that perhaps not quite as many patrons would have been flocking to this match as we expected. Hopefully, once the Trinbago Knight Riders can do the business, maybe we'll see a different scenario on Sunday. So as I told you, it's the Patriots winning the toss. I have with me a fan here, Adrian, who will give us his predictions on how he expects this one to turn out. Adrian, judging by his attire, he's a Trinbago Knight Riders fan, but you can never be too sure these days in Trinidad and Tobago. People are impersonating all manner of professions, but he is a fan of TKR. He professes. What do you think about today's game?
Of course, Trinbago Knight Riders is going to win tonight. I mean, that's what we're here for Trinbago Knight Riders to win.
Yeah, now earlier this week we spoke to some of the curators for the pitch, and they're expecting in excess of 200. TKR batting first. Do you expect them to surpass that 200 mark here?
Well, I will expect them to do that because, I mean, Chris Gale and them ain't no easy team to beat. So I will expect them to do great tonight.
Yeah, well, hopefully they can live up to your expectations. Adrian, thank you very much. One of the very many dedicated TKR fans here tonight. Hopefully they can send Patriots home packing with a defeat and move on to the final where they are set to face Guyana. Of course, they would have already booked their spot earlier this week. It's left to be seen, but stay tuned on CNC3 for more updates from the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. From me, Jassi Marique, as the night progresses. Certainly, we hope that you enjoy the broadcast as well.
Yeah, thanks very much, Jassi. I think I'm with Adrian, actually. I really hope that the TKR pulls out all the stops tonight. Now, when we come back, we've got a new contestant in our Slapping Sixes competition. You'll want to see this guy and his knowledge of cricket next. Okay, guys, so we're back with Slapping Sixes, and we've got the reigning and defending champion, Hema Ramki, soon.
That's this girl.
But now, our focus is on this guy, Kamal Ethan Georges. Kamal, are you ready for this challenge?
We'll see.
30 seconds on the clock, please. Thank you. Okay, 1. Which team finished bottom of the table in this year's CPL tournament?
Barbados Tridents.
Next question, that's correct. The Patriots and Knight Riders have met twice this season. What were the results?
Each won.
Correct. Who has the most ducks in this year's CPL?
Evan.
Correct. Who has the most catches in this year's tournament?
Andre Russell.
Correct. What was the T20 tournament before the CPL named? Next question. Who has scored the highest total in this year's tournament?
Talawaz.
St. Lucia Stars. 4 out of 6. Hema Ramkissoon continues to be the champion. We have one more show on Sunday night. We'll see who wins it that time. I tell you, this contest in the newsroom is really heating up. You know, Hema Ramkissoon is the champion, but we also want to give you a chance to win some TKR merchandise like this T-shirt. I believe we have a caller on the line already. Hello and good evening to you.
Hi, good afternoon, Ryan.
Good evening. What's your name?
Kamala.
Awesome. Well, you've just won yourself a TKR T-shirt. I'm sure that you're supporting TKR tonight.
Of course.
How difficult do you think this game is going to be against the Patriots?
It will be very tough with the bowlers on the other side, on the Patriots.
Do you think that we have what it takes to get over them and make the final?
Yes, the boys have to come together and put their heads together, and they will win. They will win.
Love your spirit. Thank you very much for your call and congratulations. You're very welcome. So the Patriots is actually going to bowl first. They've won the toss at the BLCA. We have another caller on the line. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, good night. Good night. How are you?
I'm very good. What's your name? Awesome. So what are you expecting? What type of performance are you expecting tonight?
I think they should have given this guy, McCollum, a chance to captain tonight.
Brendan McCollum a chance to captain tonight. Why?
Well, I think I did well with this guy captain the 2 last games and they won. So I think it's a good idea to give McCollum a tonight.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your thoughts. Thank you very much for your calls and all your posts on social media. I believe that we're Facebook Living as well. So hello and welcome. Good evening. I hope you enjoyed the game, Facebook followers. Let's also bring up a few of our social media followers. We asked a question earlier today, what can we expect and who, what type of atmosphere do you think we're going to get down at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy? This is also another question we asked. This guy says, bravo, the less he bowls, the better. Ouch. And then we have Narayan is going to do big tonight. Mark my words. So some truly, keep it coming on social media. We love always hearing from you. We're at CNC3 TV on Twitter. We're also at CNC3 Television on Facebook. This has been Matchday Live on CNC3. Just over 5 minutes to the grand semi-final. The lone semi-final of CPL 2018. It's the penultimate game of the season. Our winners, we encourage you to come and down to our station on St. Vincent Street in Port of Spain, Guardian Building. Please come collect your merchandise. Until next time, until the final on Sunday afternoon, I'm Ryan Bechu. Do enjoy the game.